Hello, happy Monday. Welcome to my channel. My name is Kat. I am the Nurse Flipper. I am going to go over my own personal what sold for the last 3 weeks. All of these have sold for over $50. Normally on Mondays I show you what sold over the weekend, but I am watching this along with you from the mountains in Pigeon Forge. So I recorded it beforehand. We're going to do this, and then on Friday you will see what we sold during our whole vacation. So if you're looking for some high dollar items to sell, you have found the right video. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so as I said, all of these are my own sales. They all sold for over $50. They all sold on eBay, and all of them sold buy it now. I do not do auctions very frequently. However, I have some up right now, but everything in here is going to be buy it now. So first up is this amazing bolo tie. If you did not see my video I did on bolo ties, head over and check it out because some can be worth hundreds. This one sold for $64.99. This is a vintage handmade embossed leather Southwestern Bighorn Ram bolo tie. This was signed by the artist. This one again sold for $64.99. I paid a little less than $10 for this. So this is about a $40 profit, and it took about 6 months to sell. Up and next is an amazing hand-blown glass ornament. This is another research video I've done. So if you don't know, I do research series videos and kind of do a deep dive on particular items, and ornaments is another one that I did. This next one was a very small glass ornament that sold for over $50. This is a vintage hand-blown clear glass lobster dipped in gold Christmas ornament. This one sold for $51.99. I actually got this in a big ornament lot. I paid less than $1 for this. Sold for $51.99 in under a month. So this was a very fast selling ornament, and it is also about a $40 profit. All right, if you have been watching me, you know I've been doing jewelry on Whatnot. So this next item is a vintage brooch that sold for over $50. If you have not checked out my Whatnot sales, definitely do it. Last week we did a lot of sterling silver, and there will be a lot more of sterling silver to come. So follow me on Whatnot. If you haven't joined, it's a live auction app. You can buy anything you want. I am focusing on jewelry. There are also clothes and sports cards and all kinds of different fun things. Glass for those of you that like the vases and collectibles like that. So this next brooch sold for over $50. It did take about 6 months to sell though. This is an antique Art Nouveau Czech glass citrine filigree oval detailed pen brooch. This one sold for $64.34. This one I did pay about $5 for, so this one is about a $45 profit. All right, up next is a beautiful Murano art glass Latticino heart bowl. Beautiful trinket bowl. Let me show you. This is a Murano art glass Latticino Zanfarico spiral ribbon cobalt blue trinket dish bowl. This one sold for $64.34. I paid about $5 for this bowl, so it is about a $45 to $50 profit. All right, in my last high dollar what sold video, there were tons of Kachinas. However, on this one, there's only, I believe only this one. This one is a really cool one. If you run across them, I've done very well with them. This is a vintage signed M Wood Navajo American. This is a clown Kachina doll. If you look at this guy, they definitely have different looks than your typical Kachinas. And this one sold for $64.35. And he sold in about 6 weeks. So he did not take very long to sell. All right, up next is something I absolutely love doing, and that is mini paintings, mini art. And this next one sold in 2 hours for $59.99. This is an antique vintage oil board miniature portrait, Old Lady Guadalupe. Sold for $59.99. Again, this one sold in less than 2 hours. I paid less than $2 for this in an online auction lot. So this one is, again, about a $45 profit. All right, up next is some more jewelry. I have not listed jewelry on eBay in a long time because all of my jewelry has been going to Whatnot. This next piece is a beautiful Miriam Haskell necklace. If you do not know that name, remember it because she has some really, really high pieces. This is a vintage freshwater pearl Miriam Haskell black and white bead necklace, 20-inch Art Deco. It sold for $64.34. I paid about $10 for this, making this one about a $40 profit. Up next is a vintage bobblehead. I have one left after this one. This next one is the Baltimore Colts. This is a vintage 1960s Baltimore Colts square base bobblehead nodder. This one sold for $83.85. I'm about $15 into him. He took about 3 months to sell, and he is about a $60 profit. Up next is a pair of license plates. I believe there is another license plate in this video as well. If you do not know, I bought over 1,000 license plates for about $1 each. This next pair sold for $97.49. This is a vintage custom California 1990 personalized license plate set. It is a matching pair. They are a vanity plate. They say Cherub 1. They took about 2.5 months to sell, and they sold for $97.49, making them about an $80 profit. All right, this next piece was teeny tiny, not much bigger than your fingernail. Watch out for these at estate sales. So this one is sterling silver. It is from the Elks Lodge. And the cool thing is it had, I can't remember if it was 1920s or 1930s. It had the members' original membership card folded inside of a sterling locket. I picked it up for only $5, and this one was a great sale. This is an antique sterling silver American Elks Club Lodge Asbury card case pendant locket. Sold for $96.85. Again, only about $5 in. This one took about 4 or 5 months to sell, making it about a $70 profit. All right, up next is a throw blanket. If you do not know, I absolutely love picking up throw blankets. I pick them up blind. And what I mean by that is a lot of thrift stores like to wrap them up and tape them, and you can't see what's inside. So I don't like to open them up and mess all their nice work up. If they're $3.99, $4.99, I just pick them up, put them in my cart, and hope I got something good. This next one was definitely a really good one, and it sold in under a month. This is a Bob Dylan and his band tapestry throw blanket summer 2013 tour. So this one was not vintage. I paid $5 for this. It sold for $64.35 in under a month, making it about a $45 to $50 profit. All right, up next are some DVDs. These were sealed DVDs. I absolutely love finding new sealed DVDs or VHSs. They are really, really easy to look up on eBay because you can scan the UPC code with the app. I paid about $5 for these. They did take about 6 to 8 months to sell. They did take a little bit longer to sell, but they were a great profit. This is a 15-disc Transformer complete original series With 98 episodes from 2011, it sold for $64.98. I paid about $5, so this one is about a $50 profit, and it took 6 to 8 months to sell. All right, the next two items are actually license plates. The first one is a vanity, and the second one is a pair that is not vanity. So it doesn't have to be those custom vanity tags to bring the good money, as you will see, but this first one was customized. This is a vintage custom vanity tag, 1975, New Hampshire. It says Wild. This one sold for $129.99. And actually, I took a best offer on this one of $95. I paid $1. It sold in 3 months, making it about an $80 profit. Up next is a pair of Virginia license plates. Typically the pairs are worth quite a bit more than singles, but not always. It really depends on the state, the year, and the style of the tag. This pair of Virginia plates sold for close to $100. This is a 1968 Virginia collectible license plate, set of 2, pair. They are matched. They sold for $97.49 in about 3 months, and they are about an $85 profit. All right, the next item is a vintage cast iron tea kettle, and it actually sold in under a month. This sucker was heavy. It was almost 12 pounds. The buyer did pay for shipping. I am only about $5 into this in a lot, and sold really fast. This is a vintage antique cast iron teapot or tea kettle. This one sold for $64.99 in under a month, and it is about a $45 to $50 profit. Up next is the first of the Longaberger baskets. I did show this 2 weeks ago on my Monday What Sold. This is actually a pretty small basket. It is a serving basket, and what made this one stand out is it was red, which is not as common of a color in Longaberger baskets. This is a Longaberger 2008 small red serving basket. This one had the liner and the container that's set inside of it. Sold for $97.49. I paid about $10 for this, making this about a $70 profit, and it sold in 2 months. Up next is another item from 2 weeks ago, What Sold on Monday. So watch my What Solds on Monday. You will definitely pick up some new items to look for. This next one is an antique ironstone syrup pitcher. This is an antique ironstone China syrup pitcher, Knowles and Taylor. It was floral thistle pattern. I did accept a best offer of $100. I am less than $5 in, making this one about a $70 profit, and it sold in about 3 to 4 months. All right, this next item is from last Monday's What Sold video, and it is a vintage Iroquois Indian pillow. This is a Mohawk Iroquois clear beaded cornucopia. This is a pin cushion. It is from the early 1900s or the 1890s. It does have Indian trade beads. This one sold for just over $100. I did pay $25 for this, so this one's only about a $50 profit, but it was too amazing of a piece for me to leave behind. It did take close to a year to sell, but it was an absolutely beautiful piece that I loved looking at until it sold. Up next is a Zalique perfume bottle. Perfume bottles can be very, very valuable. This one was signed and etched on the bottom. That is how I was able to identify it. It sold for over $100. This is a vintage art glass Zalique perfume bottle, signed Heart Vine from 1996. I did put Valentine as a keyword. This one I accepted a best offer a little over $100. I only paid about $5 for this bottle, making it over an $80 profit. Up next is a big Longaberger basket. The first one you saw wasn't so big. This one was, I believe, about 14 inches by 14 inches, so quite big, and it did have to go in an oversized box. This is a Longaberger 2000 Holiday Hostess 12 Days of Christmas basket with the liner and the lid. It sold for $84.49. I paid about $10, making this one about a $55 to $60 profit. Up next is something I haven't sold in a while, but I've sold quite a few of them for over $100, and that is from the King Dynasty. These are some Kingfisher feather brooches, and this was a good sale. I do have, I believe, 3 of them left. I originally had 10, so I sold 6, and then I just sold this one. This is a 2.5-inch King Dynasty Kingfisher feather hairpin Chinese flower with a coral bead. This one sold for $130. I actually paid less than a couple of dollars for this, and this is close to $100 profit. It did take about a year and a half for this one to sell. So with those Kingfisher feather pins, I sold, I think, 3 really fast for over $200 a piece. I got them in a cart lot, only a few dollars into each, but I still have the few left. So sometimes you will get expensive items in lots. Some of them sell fast, and others it takes a little bit longer. So with reselling, you have to make sure you take good pictures, make sure you have a good title with good keywords, and then you just have to wait for the right buyer to come along. We are now up to our top 5 selling items in the last 3 weeks. This first one took about a year and a half, but is an absolutely beautiful piece. It is an art glass vase. This is an art glass handkerchief splash stretch abstract vase, blue and green crystal, 15 inches tall. Sold for $129.35. This one actually went international, so the buyer had quite a shipping bill as well. This one I paid $20 for, and it is going to be about a $70 profit. And again, this one did take a while to sell. Up next is a very, very fast selling item. If you watch my other YouTube channel, which is Cat's Treasure Hunting with a K, I found these Faberge eggs at a thrift store for only $5. They sold for $110 in under a week. This is Emerald Garden Dome House of Faberge eggs, hand painted. It was a limited edition. They are miniature. These eggs are about an inch tall, and I accepted a best offer of $110. They did go international. I decided I didn't want to be greedy. I only spent $5. They offered me $110. I accepted, and this was a great sale and over an $85 profit very, very fast. All right, top 3. This next one was actually my friend Charlene's. It was a helmet or an overnight carrying bag branded Harley Davidson. This is a Harley Davidson 105th anniversary sissy bar or backpack bag. Sold for a best offer of $110 plus shipping. This one, my friend Charlene and I will be splitting the profits. Will be about a $70 profit, so about $35 to each of us. Next is an item you saw last Monday in my What Sold video. It is a single Moser glass that sold for over $150. This is a Moser Cobalt Blue Tumbler Gold Gilt Scroll Bohemian. I did pay up for this. I did pay $80. It sold for $160. Took about 6 to 8 months to sell. It will be about a $60 profit, and I got this along with a ruby red. I got it along with a ruby red one that sold a few weeks ago. I'm glad this one sold. I think I did overpay a little, but not bad as far as dollar-wise for profit. All right, the top selling item of the last 3 weeks was a WDC which is Walt Disney Classic Collection. It was a Cinderella figurine. I had it about 6 to 8 months. I did have to pay up for this. I paid $400, but it sold for $680. This is a WDCC Cinderella. Oh, thank you so much. This one sold for $680. Again, I did pay $400, so this is only about a $200 profit, maybe a little bit less. Took about 8 months to sell. I had it listed at over $800. I accepted the offer because I'd had it over a year, and I would rather get my money back for it, have it for additional inventory, and get it out of my way. And it was a great sale and a good profit. So sometimes you have to pay up for things. Sometimes if you want to make that bigger dollar, you have to pay more. That is just kind of the bottom line. And that means your percentage, as far as, you know, what your return on investment is going to go down, but the actual dollar amount will go up. So sometimes you have to kind of think of that when it comes to these higher dollar items. I, again, want to thank you all so much for watching. I am up in the mountains until Wednesday. My mom and her boyfriend so graciously agreed to stay at the house. I do want to thank you all for the birthday wishes. My birthday was this past Saturday. I really do appreciate it. I thank you all so much for coming. I will be live tomorrow night from the mountains. So definitely come over and join me from my mountain, not my mountain house, I'm just renting it. Come over and join myself along with Leroy Blood, Sweat, and Cell as my co-host, and Faberge Finds, who are lovely ladies, along with Rebecca Allison. They will be my guest tomorrow night, so come and see us tomorrow. 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. This week only, we are starting 30 minutes late. Every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, please continue to watch this week, because once I get back on Wednesday, I will be scheduling my whatnots. I might already have one scheduled for Thursday. I think I'm going to do Thursday and Saturday this week. Come over, hang out with us on Whatnot. Some really great giveaways. I appreciate you all hanging out with me in the premiere while I am up in the mountains. I will see you all live tomorrow night from the mountains and Pigeon Forge. Bye for now. Oh, and what do you think about this?
Look, there's a shark.
Look, there's some sharks. Oh, there's a big one, Dalton.
Oh, wow.
Over there.
We'll find him. We're going to go around here.
I'm like breaking a sweat.
Guys, look at this mouse. Look at this mouse, guys.
That's cool.
What is he doing? What's he doing, Mom? What's he doing? What is he doing, sister? Sister, what's he doing?
He's sucking on the glass.